to skip line item 2 for meeting minutes.
My apologies.
Oh, no, it's all good. So we're gonna move right on into the Friends update.
Okay, not too much of an update. Our next meeting is September 15th. And it's the only thing to report out is that 50-50 raffle in the t-shirt sales were fairly productive from the else will be into fall winter planning when we rejoin. We have a few new members, so that'll be exciting. So stay tuned for the September.
During Christmas in July, I was following Facebook and I kept saving. I have a million things saved. I made a little folder. So I have lots of ideas for the DIY. Well, they may or may not be good ones, but you know, I just kept seeing things. I'm like, we could do that. We could do that. So yeah.
Lisa did tell me too that the t-shirts reached the break-even point, so I think that there were 1 or 2 sales after, you know.
Yeah, we
the amount of
the last I heard, we got $75 beyond the cost. But I think some have sold since then, so.
Yeah, I think there was 1 or 2.
Yeah.
All right, nice. All right, so then that puts us right into the director's report. Moving right along.
Okay, we have hired, surprise, surprise, we've hired 2 new staff. And the reason for that is, Chris Hoyman is going to be seasonal for us. They purchased, I think it was her mom's home in Missouri. And so they're going to be doing basically like 3 months here, then 3 months there, 3 months here, then 3 months there. So, and that'll start in September. But knowing that, it was right at the same time we were doing interviews, so it only made sense for us to look at 2 individuals. One who, you know, but obviously the other person for the seasonal work would have to be agreeable to doing that. Chris is agreeable about doing on-call at times that she's here, but isn't necessarily scheduled at all. As is Therese, who's going to be the seasonal worker. I don't know if anybody know Therese Maurice?
I do.
Yeah, and Autumn. Yeah, Autumn is works for. Oh, not works for. She volunteers for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I just actually heard from her today. She said she's receiving the paperwork. We'll be working the paperwork out in this next week. Hopefully that means I can have her in either the end of next week, but most likely the week after. But she'd be starting on the 15th, so have a week's training, whatever it is, prior to her coming on and, you know, manning the desks. So that's good. That's a good thing. Chris's hours are 8 hours a week, and so that would be what Therese would have as well. I did mention to Therese, because she's here for most of the year, that when open shifts come up, that she'll be the first, she gets the right of first refusal on those shifts, because it's an unusual position. As far as the other position, which was an 8 to 11 hour week position, Carol Sari, who was our senior abatement worker, along with Jeff Croson this last year, did a wonderful job. She is actually now part-time staff. So, and she started, I think it was the last week of July. So far, so good. What we're doing right now is she's doing training on cataloging and processing, the sorts of things that she hadn't done before. Most of what she had done before was sort of desk work. But she knows checkouts, check-ins, she knows shelving, she knows the collection. She's learning the collection down here because most of the time she spent upstairs. But so far, so good. This is it. As far as part-time jobs, like literally, I don't want to go any further than this. It's myself now and 8 part-time staff. Fine. But I think in terms of a progression, the next thing that would happen, to my way of thinking, is it would be a position of 20 hours, 30, whatever it might be, and it would be looking at like an adult services. To have somebody downstairs, much like Tara is upstairs, handling the collection as well as programs. And that sort of thing. But I don't want to expand beyond sort of piece together a lot of part-timers at this point, just so everyone knows. And I don't know, did anybody have any questions about that? All's going well so far with that. Their salary was set at $18.20 per hour. They were confirmed at the select board meeting on August 6th. Else, I think that's about it for staffing. At some point, we're going to be doing goals meetings with the staff going forward. It's kind of a new, at least these are things that the town has been talking about and sitting down with staff and putting together goals. We've never really done like goals specifically. Certainly at the end of the year, we'll go through sort of competencies and where everybody's at. But we'll try to do that within the next 3-4 weeks to work with everybody on goals. And then at some point after the current staff, we've talked about that, then I want to make sure that I talk to Carol and Dennis about that. We need to give them some time to get adjusted before we start getting.
Is that something that we should look into doing for you?
My guess is Jeremy would probably be on. Yeah, that's my take.
Okay.
That's where it seemed. I mean, when we had the department head meeting, having measurables is a good thing.
Right.
So yeah, post Harris, I'm done with the calendar. I'm going to set up goals meetings next with staff. Sarah Burkhart is currently a volunteer on Wednesdays for us for a couple of hours. She's actually talking to Amy over at the senior center about becoming part of the senior abatement program. So Carol's moved on from the senior abatement program into a position here, and hopefully Sarah will be able to in the senior abatement spot that we have. Sarah's done great work. She primarily is doing processing and cataloging when she's in. But it's helping us really keep up with what's coming in upstairs. I'm hoping at some point maybe to have her come down here too and do some work that way. It's hard at the desk sometimes to be able to do the processing and cataloging and sort of pull yourself away. So it's nice we have somebody coming in that's just dedicated to doing that. So that's been a nice thing. Jeff Croson, who's our other senior person, has moved to 1 to 4 on Tuesdays. So now we have 10 to 1 coverage with Carol and 1 to 4 coverage with Jeff. And have the whole schedule where Tara or myself have to jump on the desk that day, which is great. Let's see, all shifts, work shifts are covered in August. Just a heads up that we are closed on the Saturday before Labor Day, August 30th. We're now open on Mondays. Woo-hoo. 10 to 3, it's going well. Definitely there are people come multiple times now and said that this is like the one good day they have. So it's been a good thing so far. We publicized it some. Somebody said, oh, well, it looks out there on the board like you're open Mondays 10 to 3, and that's it. I don't know. Hopefully people look at that and think, suddenly it's just Monday.
Like a now? Yeah.
Well, now also open Mondays 10 to 3, so I have to change this.
Like vastly reduced hours.
Yeah, that's certainly not something I advertise. Just let's see, facilities. So Jen came to their biannual maintenance check of the HVAC system. Noticed that one of the splits has a clog in the line. Jen wants to charge us like $990 to clear the clog. I'm a little tired of Jen because I believe Jen is overpriced. And, but the reason we started with GEM initially was that at that time, there weren't many companies that were addressing electric splits.
It also wasn't GEM when we first started.
Right, correct.
The company we worked
Oh,
with was purchased by GEM.
Oh, that's, yeah.
That just changes.
Yeah. That's, no worries. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They were absorbed.
Sorry, Elena, what was your question?
Heat pumps, is that the air source heat pumps?
Yeah, it's like well, that doesn't really show. We've got a couple back here. There's other, they're wall mounted.
Yeah, I think there are more companies that do.
Yeah, I've, like 10 years ago, not as easy to find some, but
Like
now,
Boucher is amended one, they
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
it solarized.
yeah.
With the town.
And with that in mind, Dan, because we're the facilities department now, Dan reached out to Dunton, to the smaller company. They will do it for $525. So I called them. We got to arrange the time that they're gonna come in. But
Do we have any contracts with GEM?
yeah, so that's the problem, is we have a contract with them, but we should be able to resolve it. I think it's February. Yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit yet, but then I'm hoping, Dan's starting to look
Yeah.
at some other companies and we'll talk through it.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Let's see. Duist is going to do a cleanup around here in the landscaped areas. They asked about the area behind the fence over here where the outdoor HVAC units are. And they said, well, we could put gravel down. And I said, well, that's, something we could do. He gave me, what was it, 700, I think, something along those. Oh, no, 825. I don't feel like it's something that's urgent at this
No.
point. Like literally, I would, if there's money left at the end of the year, could see maybe doing it, if we have building maintenance money.
What were the
Okay.
benefits of it? Why were they even suggesting it?
Well, because it gets really overgrown back there, yeah.
Still gonna
That's-
have to weed it,
Yeah,
but
it's still gonna get weed.
Unless they put down plastic or something
Barrier.
underneath, a barrier. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they have a barrier on this one and it's still starting
Yeah.
to go up through there, so they are gonna take care of that at no cost to us. Because of
yeah,
having put the barrier down, but, yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't think we need to sort of do that yet. I think we could wait, if there's money remaining. We could do it. And it would mitigate the amount of weeds back there, which grows up. I mean, even in the gravel window wells, you get these. things
Yeah,
that sprout
we get 'em
up.
in our house too.
As long as the weeds are not impacting the HVAC units.
Right.
Because you need to, as long as they've got good airflow, the weeds aren't that tall.
Well,
I don't
and
like
those are
to see
all
it.
stacked right on top of like concrete blocks, basically, so there's, the weeds and the grass aren't really getting at those.
Okay.
So that's a good thing, but, so anyway, it's something to think about, but I'm not willing to do it right now. ADC will be in to pump the trough and tank Monday this next week. Right now, Dan said, just go with ADC. They're gonna figure out what they want to do, whether or not they're gonna consolidate that at all, or if other departments like who they have necessarily, they might just say, go with that, so. Budget report for July, let's see. Quite a bit, 36,413 was spent from the budget in July. It was 15,700 in salaries and 20,700 close in operations. That meant 10.5% of the total budget being spent as opposed to our target of like 8.3. However, there are a number of big invoices that come up at the very beginning of the year, including Otis for the elevator, as well as our membership with CW Mars. So it's nothing unusual. Let's see. So yeah, contracted services, 7,600 spent in July. Otis was 5,700 that was spent out of the budget. So far, so good. It kind of lines up with last year where we were, so no concerns there. At the end of FY25, I'll give you the good news first. The good news is there was only 0.45% of the operations budget left at the end of the year, $700. So not bad. Bad news is that the salaries, we had 11,000. So I want to pick through things a little bit and try to find out why that was. I haven't had a chance really. I want to look at what our max hours are typically for the week, and then how far short we'll be falling during the year. As I think I mentioned to people, we had people out or people on vacation. Sometimes there were issues trying to get people to fill in, so I filled in and whatnot. It doesn't
Take from the
add
salary,
up.
right?
So, but then I thought I would talk to Jeremy as well, because last time I looked, in terms of the hours and how they had the hours lined up for each employee, it didn't match what I have, so I want to kind of, yeah.
I was gonna ask, because this year we also did the shift to the electronic system. And
Right,
you went from weekly to bi-weekly.
right,
So you've had like 3 different changes happening.
right,
It's very possible, not saying decimal place got moved or something, but it's very possible that a shift happened,
right.
because that is, I don't remember last year's percentage difference, but that seems like a significant jump
Yeah.
difference from a year ago.
I feel like last year might have been, and we still left, there was still money left, maybe like 7, 8, maybe. I feel like this is definitely more than there was this past year. And like I said, it might just be that there were people that were away enough, people who had medical issues or medical leave.
Yep.
Sometimes I was able to get individuals to come in, sometimes it was me, or we would have a senior abatement person come in. Once again, that doesn't affect the salaries. So
Oh,
if
right.
I had senior abatement come in to cover a shift, that was good as well. So,
Having an answer on those is gonna be key whenever we look to have that next step. That we talked about
Yes.
early in the meeting about, having 8 folks at part-time, that's really your cap, and where you think you don't wanna go above that. I don't disagree. I think that's a smart number. But we're gonna have to figure out how to smartly justify that, to say, even though we left 11,000 on the table,
right,
this is still what the need is and where it is. And this,
Yeah.
last year, this is why it fell. So when we asked for a 20 or 30 hour person,
right.
we're saying, yes, we're taking into account for the tick-up or whatever the number difference is. But it's.
Yeah, it's smart. There needs to be an argument for why, based
Sure.
on the fact that there was.
Right. It's not that we don't still need this $11,000. This is why.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I said, we'll think back through the numbers that he has to and go from there. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. Okay, programs. They're pretty much completed for the summer. I mean, there's a couple of things that are regular things that happen, but the summer programs themselves are complete. We actually had Pro-Jam Puppet Band at the beach. I covered on Tuesday this week. We had 102 people there.
Wow.
Yeah, really good. Good numbers, obviously, Idiot Story Time. She had 9 seconds with 308 in attendance this summer. Like a lot of the beach events did very well. 86 at Roly Poly Guacamole. All the read around towns did very well. Most of them had 40 and up attendees and up. Pool Museum, 45.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good attendance there. 440 for the boat race, which was great. And then, there was a Bananas concert. We had 51 attend that. And the other ones that are like the Ed the Wizard's balloon twisting workshop, photo stacking contest. Most of those, the max was 25. We didn't want to go beyond that, so.
And you
I
even had
suspect,
54 for Mr. Vinny's Bubble Show, which was literally 2 hours before the boat race.
Yeah, and he also said that it was Mr. Vinny. I saw it because he's in Toe Jam.
Yep.
He said it was so hot over.
Oh, okay.
But he said, I mean, it worked out really well, but yeah, he had a really good turnout. That's all. And then, once again, a thank you to everybody who, helped out with our boat race. as I've said to a number of people, it's, you know, it takes a lot of people sort of pulling in the same direction to make something work, and I think it really came off very well. Good comments from people afterwards. We kept it moving along, which was wonderful. All the things that we brought in, the cake and all that sort. I think it was really nice.
Yeah, I think it was very well received.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I agree. I think, everybody's participation from, you know, the friends and from the newer friends that had never really done it before. Everybody was very helpful and willing to just kind of pitch in and do whatever. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then once again, parks and everybody, lifeguards and all that. It was nice. It was really nice. A thank you to all
Yeah.
who helped out. Projects, just a couple of things. So the dedication for Paula Perlman is going to be on Tuesday, September 9th at 6 p.m. Hopefully just behind the library if the weather is decent. If not, we'll meet in the children's area. Let's see, the Taft Library website. So there have been some hiccups here and there, and some challenges. I think once it's up, there's going to be some things that need to be smoothed out. I don't have any question about that. It's going live on Tuesday, August 26th. This week, I did manage to cancel auto renewals and do some things so that the work that Bluehost currently does could transfer over to Civic Plus. So all of that is good to go. It's just some things that we need to work on this next week on the site.
So is the town page already live? Because it looked, I went on it earlier to get the agenda and I was like, oh, wow, look at
Yeah, it
It
is.
went live a
Definitely.
week or two ago.
that. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that they would say the same thing, that there are tweaks that need. to be
Oh,
made,
sure.
You know, but we'll get there. I mean, like, it won't be maybe in the state that we would absolutely love it to be in, totally buttoned up and, you know, but I think that's kind of how it was most of the time.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm a big fan of once you get close to that 80% selection, you go for it.
Right.
And then you adjust it as you go, because if you
Right.
wait for 100%.
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly. Yeah, so, and we realize that, and there are things that work on it currently and things that are probably gonna need some figuring out, but that's why we'll communicate. So, plus this next week, and try to hammer out as many things as we can. Let's see. Other things, projects, obviously doing weeding again, for the umpteenth time down here in the.
It's a never ending process.
So we're doing that with nonfiction right now. Down here, upstairs, they're doing some spine label changes. Down here, majority of the books are print labels as opposed to handwritten. Long ago, we did handwritten labels in children's and did them for the longest time. And now that we have a printer up there, we're trying to change that stuff over, but it's a slow process. So, a little bit at a time. With that, so we did receive job descriptions back from the Collins Center. I had actually sent Jen the job descriptions that we all had worked on, to give them an idea for the job descriptions that they were putting together. But then my question is, like, which takes precedence, and whether or not we need to like look at both of them as a group. We just want to keep both of them on file. I'm not
Really
sure.
one,
You know,
so I don't know if that's an HR decision or is it our decision?
well, that's,
Oh, so.
I was trying to get an idea of that, but I don't know that I have a good answer yet.
So that's kind of tricky, because we're an elected body who's approved the ones that
Right.
we've
Right.
reviewed.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with us going and taking the new ones and starting the review process again. Like,
Okay, yeah.
that's a healthy thing, and especially if someone's done the hard work of the study already. You know, they're seeing things that we may not.
Right.
So it's maybe catch blind
So
spots that
maybe
we
we
don't.
kind of intertwine the two and,
Well, we take the cycle that
So
we
that's
started
the goal.
last year or 2 years ago with the document review.
That's fun,
Like,
yeah.
each month, click on a new one and be like, let's sit and hash it out.
So do you want to, I mean, we could start with like the library tech one. at the next meeting. You want me to send them out to everybody, both of them, and then you can actually.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
one I'll have to scan because I don't have the original file for it, but, but I've got the files for the others.
Yeah.
All right, I can send those both out. Everybody take a look and make a topic. Keep that, but this was library tech. I don't see what this is. Interchange. World Ed was supposed to be in today to do the transition of 7 of our computers over to Windows 11. But he got tied up. He's going to be in next week, Thursday, to transition those over to Windows 11. There are 2 computers that can't exactly easily transition over to Windows 11, and the equipment basically needs to be swapped out. Those are the office computers. So yeah, it kind of has to be done. So
Yeah.
I think, what did he quote? He quoted the 2,360 for the new computers in the 2 offices, along with the Windows 11 setup. So I talked to Jeremy because I know they have a technology plan, but he said that plan isn't really going into effect until F7.
Okay.
So he said, if you don't mind covering it for now, they potentially, like, then if we take the 2,300 out now, that maybe if we need something, say in the spring, that he can work something out so that we get 20,000, 2,000 back.
Can we move some of that 11,000 we gave back in salaries?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we had $11,000 that they took back.
is it not FinCom reserve? It's not FinCom reserve, is it? What is it? Where does it usually come from? Like if there's money that comes back.
Oh, I think it goes to
Where does it?
free cash. Yeah, so like, we're talking about like unspent budget, yeah. it'll
So
be-
maybe
it'll be
it
in
would come
free
from
cash.
free cash. I can talk.
And so that's like a special town meeting.
Yeah,
We talk,
yeah.
we talk as a town about where the
Right.
money's going, but yes, of course. Decisions are made beforehand about what goes on.
Right.
About where the money goes, so.
So anyway, he did mention that there would, that certainly there's something that we needed 2,000 whatever for in the spring, that he would make that possible. Let's see. The only other thing is the ERIS report. I just had Lisa sign off on it. Submitted the full report today. I just have to submit the cover sheet that she signed. So that's all set. And of course, then right around the corner now is the state aid financial report.
Never ending.
Which is due on, what did I say, October 3rd, so I'll be working on that in the coming weeks as well. I have a workshop for that on September 10th. So that's the director's report. Does anybody have any questions?
So you say that the library website is going live on the 26th?
Yeah,
It's linked from the town website, the new website, it's linked from the town website,
yes,
so.
right
you got the
now,
old Website and the new website,
yeah.
Okay.
So,
The old website will go away
right,
okay,
on that same date, because you've already told
Right.
them the DNS and all of that is gonna change over.
but Dan seemed to say, because we actually have, see, that's the thing, I'm a little confused, because there were like meeting minutes on there that we need to transfer over. I'm gonna get in touch with Dan again, make sure that we can actually pull that stuff. Our, was it that we're, the hosting by, Bluehost ends on the 27th.
Which is the day after go live.
so.
Right, which is the day after go live, but the domain name is at least this, I did not auto renew. That was scheduled to stay with Bluehost initially until November 10th, I think. So I don't know how this works in terms of overlap. I can only assume that once we go live with the Civic Plus site, that we wouldn't necessarily have access to it, but Dan mentioned something about being able to get in on the backside of the administrative side of the old site, actually pull things off of it.
That would
So
make sense.
You should be able to.
should be able to do that. So that's what I know. I mean, there are certain things,
The
three different
minutes and
things.
stuff don't have to
security-
come over for
Yeah.
go live,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, they have to come over eventually, but
right.
I guess I don't know, I don't know the websites well enough, but there is like the new version of, it's not live, but looks to the public like it's live.
right, okay.
So like, I mean,
It has a neighborhood feel, but it's not totally live yet.
it's not, yeah, I mean, if you go to the town website and you click on the Taft Library, it goes to the kind of the draft, I think, site,
Oh, okay.
like kind of low image quality.
Well,
Um,
that's surprising.
So like, it goes
Yeah,
here.
it does.
And so like, I guess my concern is if there's any interface, like, because now there are 2 live sites for the library, like, anyhow, just something to be aware of. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any place where.
They should make that like go to our old site
That's
until
what I
it's
thought,
not.
is that I think
Yeah,
that
it
it
should.
So the new page,
Mm.
when you click on something on the new page to access something, it kicks you to the old site.
but
Oh,
that's what so when
That's
I,
okay.
well, so maybe not everywhere though, because I clicked.
Catalog and login went over, the calendar went over. To the.
Well, no, but you're gonna go to this page, but if you click on anything on this page, it's
I
gonna
see.
kick you over to our site.
I see, okay, so this is, okay. So this is just like a landing page before that site?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what they'll
No, it's okay.
yeah, yeah.
It's
it's good.
okay.
this
Yeah.
is
This is, yeah, this is.
Well, I'm sure that it kicks you back to the old page. It's just, I don't want to unnecessarily confuse people.
It won't.
I don't think it will.
But like if I click on library things, it stays on the same page.
Because there
Because there
really
is-
isn't a library of things on
Yeah.
there.
On the old page.
So, yeah, so it's not there. yet. It will
Yeah.
be.
So I wanted to, I'll send you something separately. I think it was Bellingham Library. I saw on Facebook, how they were, advertising or whatever you want to call it, their library of things. And they did a really nice job of it. I'll show you.
Okay. I know Blackstone had pretty
I
decent.
think it was
ones.
Bellingham.
But yeah, it could have been.
I think I might have screenshot
And
it.
Bellingham uses a Civic Plus, so.
Oh, good, all right.
if-
Nothing else
if it is.
goes to the website. That's all. Like, I mean, I haven't clicked on every link, but I clicked on like,
James was just on the calendar
Yeah,
and
so-
on,
catalog and login went back to the old one.
okay,
The calendar and events, it looks newish, but that's the new old
Okay,
calendar.
yeah, yeah.
The museum passes stayed on this one, but had links out to other stuff, so that is the new page.
I guess it's just, if any of it's still draft, like, it's just good to be aware.
Sure.
Yeah, we're in this really weird halvesy stage.
Yeah.
This site really should automatically go to our site until it's
is
ready.
there a way to?
That was my impression.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not
I think it should have just popped
Please,
right to.
please.
That's exactly.
You know what I mean, like,
Exactly.
Awesome.
I
I'll
wonder,
get over and see if.
I wonder if there's a way that they can put on that first page when you click on the library.
Yeah.
I'm still under construction, please pardon our, whatever.
Or when you click on that link, it goes to our page,
Well,
to our
yes.
website. That's an easy, that
That's,
should be very, very easy.
I think that's the impression
Yeah,
people had.
that's what's supposed to be happening. Yeah, and Mike, it's just an oversight, because there's so many links and they're, you know.
Still under construction, like click here.
yeah, just still pardon our appearance where, or pardon our whatever, but Lisa
But
said.
if they correct it so that it goes to our website.
It should be.
So you don't even need that.
Right.
And that should be very easy. You're just changing where it points to, where that button points to.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I know who to reach out to.
I know a guy.
Just real quick about I didn't really have anything on the budget report. Did anybody have any questions there? Obviously, certain lines have been spent into, like, contracted services is literally almost 50% of the budget spent. But, most of the time, and then there are various expenses later in the year, but not nearly to the amount that the upfront expenses are in the beginning of the year. Anybody have questions on the budget?
I had one question on the state aid.
Yeah.
Just as far as the, our feasibility study, did the rest of that balance? I know there was like a weird going back and forth. Is that all set now with the state aid?
Oh, you're talking about,
So we asked GRLA to invoice us up front.
oh.
We had to pay them out of,
Okay, so
and then
this
get
is actually,
reimbursed by state aid, and
yeah, so this
is
is
that
really,
still happening,
yeah,
or?
it did. What's
Okay.
interesting is that only Tracy contacted me one day because she said that a certain amount had come in or had come back from the state, but it wasn't nearly, well, it wasn't nearly, but it wasn't
The full amount.
the 12,500, it was like 9,000 something. Reason it was because I don't know what department it was in the state, that there was something that the town still had to pay for. So the state,
Oh, they
Took it out.
the state took the 3,000 or so from that amount. And I was told that it's fine,
Okay.
it was done. Yeah, no, they
They
hijacked.
basically like docked.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's
You
like,
still owe us, you're not getting the right.
And I don't remember, you could ask Jerry. I don't
Very
remember
Massachusetts
exactly what
thing,
they did,
there.
but they definitely didn't give the full amount because there was an amount that the town owed the state.
That's funny.
So,
But we're good.
yeah, so I mean, I'm here, initially, I said, Tracy, what the heck, I don't understand, I thought that there had been something wrong maybe in the documentation or something, and they were only gonna.
Well, I know you went through all that trouble of documenting everything.
Right, they were only gonna send back so much because they didn't feel it was adequate, I don't know. No, everything to do with this. Taking 3,000 for something else. So anyway, so that all worked out. I did talk to Jen, speaking of state aid, because you remember that there's 4 hours that are coming out of state aid
Yeah,
now, so, we got that worked out, that Carol's started, and she just double checked with me.
So something,
The 4 hours there. Sorry, yes.
no, I'm strategizing in my brain here.
Like it.
Does it make sense to take it out of state aid every month? Or does it make sense to continue to take it out of salaries until the end of the year? And then we look at, do we have an $11,000 overage or not?
How are we able to do that?
Right,
Month.
so why don't we just go with the flow, so to speak, for now, and it always comes out of salaries? And then if we find at the end of the year,
sure.
we're short in salaries for some reason,
We have state.
we have state aid to make up that shortfall. We know what that number should be, that we've already committed out of state aid. So that last month, if our salaries budget is short by that amount, or we're going to be short by that amount, we
And
slide it right over. Don't see why we aren't allowed to.
Yeah,
I'm not-
we're the weird ones in town who have a state aid. And that has almost no regulations on how that's used as long as it's used for the library.
I'll pop in and talk to you.
it's worth asking because effectively the state aid, I mean, it
That's a really good.
kind of, whatever isn't spent from the budget gets bounced to free cash. And
Right.
if, like,
Right, and we lose it.
right,
Sure, that's really, yeah, because maybe we've been doing too good of a job using another resource than actually accounting for the hours that we really are spending.
Right.
That's not a shot at you, please understand that. That's just, we're using money smartly
Yeah,
as an organization.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea, because it's really gonna give us a raw dollar, how many pennies are going to hours.
Because my guess is that that $11,000 was from, we used senior abatement workers to fill in shifts, so we didn't have to pay, so to speak, for
Right.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we are using those resources smartly and,
Yeah,
shifting things around.
yeah, I mean, Chris went from 11 down to 8, and we didn't really account for the 11 because literally the seniors were doing every other week. They were switching out
Right.
between the three, so I'm sure it does factor in there as well. It has to.
So,
It has to.
I mean,
I think it's smart.
I think that would be a really
Yeah.
great thing to do if we could.
Yeah.
I don't see why we couldn't.
Let me talk to him. Because you're right.
I mean, we have no problem using it if we need it, but why use it if we don't?
You're right. Oh,
Absolutely. I'm gonna make it up to you, so.
Book for Diane Sullivan.
oh, yes.
I like notice myself, I'll go back to the web pages as well and double check on where the minutes sit, like how. If it's already saved somewhere else, we may be able to see it on the other side as well. So I'll take a look.
I'm thinking more of like the recordings get deleted.
So the recordings are all up on YouTube now. All of that was shifted over.
Right, but they originally here and then Dan moves them over, but they get deleted on this side
Yeah,
regularly.
Sure.
So we have, if there's a time for,
See it all.
and that's
Thank you very much.
that's not famous minutes.
That's smart.
right.
Have a good night.
And Dan had me share something with him.
Yeah,
I folded with him so that he could just pull them down and
That's all
when
I've
they
done.
do get deleted, we don't have to worry about that because he's already,
He's already done it,
Right.
yeah. Once I shared it with him, I
Right.
never,
I don't have to worry. about
right, I never have a conversation with him, he just handles it. and it gets
Because he was
there.
literally emailing every time. Did you get the folder? Did you get the thing? Did you get it? Did it not? James, help.
and I just screwed up more, so.
And Dan's like, you could share the folder with me. I'm like, no, I can't. I didn't know that. Can you tell me how?
All right. Are we good with director support in the budget?
Yes.
Do we have any library policies that we need to discuss? We still have this.
We do. This summer I lost that one, so, we've had to sit down with the fire chief and police chief. So we have all the notes from that, including any of the final recommendations that we had talked through. So, I'm gonna clean those suckers up. I'll get it back to you guys for final review. Then ship it, we are good with it, it actually goes to Jeremy and then emergency management for them to use it as a template, so. Yep, we're tracking. I'm blaming summer. There's no excuse, but I'm blaming summer.
It's loud. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
loud.
totally fair. Yeah.
Cool.
We're also experiencing summer.
Thank you. I respect that.
Well, clearly I was too, because I never sent that email to Rebecca, so I clearly was too.
So was that, I sent her that response.
I appreciate that very much because I was like, I just couldn't,
Yeah.
I said I would do it and I never did, so.
And, well, I think the only thing left there is that, well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Final report.
Sorry. Brain had a hiccup. Could we jump back to one thing on the director's report?
Yeah.
For the cardboard boat race, the coastie that came over, he offered for us to get the event put on the recruiting calendar. So Coast Guard Recruiting actually owns special events. And the goal is that then hopefully, instead of having to go yell at a whole bunch of people, there's one touch point for us to say, hey, this is coming up. You want to send someone out? So there's no obligation on our end. There's no requirements. It's not like we have to pay for anything or
I didn't
anything.
get a chance to ask you, did you have a good time?
You know, absolute blast. He bragged and he went back to the unit. I was like, you guys missed out. I don't understand. No, he had an absolute blast.
Okay.
But it was his idea to say, that's a way we can make sure that if you want this to be going forward,
Sure.
we can have someone there. So
Nice.
up to you guys. We can make it happen.
I don't see why we wouldn't want to do
Right.
that.
Yeah, I don't see what I'm.
Cool. Got it, action.
All right, are we good?
Yeah.
Strategic plan? No,
Yeah, so I kind of went through things a little bit. I know Sean's not here tonight, because I feel like the whole bus stop thing kind of reached an impasse, and I think the last thing was he was gonna check with somebody over at the schools.
He was, I believe.
bus. I haven't, I noticed that there was also in that strategic plan, van stops for the senior center. I think the van occasionally does stop here, but I can find out from Amy whether or not they do a regular stop, because that would make sense to me. Why would
Right.
they,
Is it a regular stop or is it only a requested stop?
Right, right. Couldn't it be a regular stop?
Wonder if you could do like a mini event and
Yeah.
like a,
Field trip?
well, like a field trip, or it's a, I don't know, like, kind of like the handcrafting event once a month where you
Yeah.
kind of, it becomes a social event. So there's something else that goes on with it
Okay, yeah.
as like an adult programming type thing. So,
So the seniors.
right. So it becomes, I don't know, not a lunch, or like a, yeah, something where, so it goes on their calendar as an event for them,
Right,
but the bus brings them here. And if they want to come here and meet here, just,
right,
they're meeting in a different space, they're, what,
right,
I don't have a vision for what that
Yeah,
event
no,
would be.
that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
But like intermingle,
Right,
you know,
Almost like the coffees and conversation.
right.
Type thing,
Yeah,
but-
so with the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something along that line potentially, or.
And in some way, you just say, all right, well, we're gonna do this every, maybe it's 6 weeks, because, book checkout is 6 weeks, and so we line it up with that, return, take out more items, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
So could be, 3 weeks too, but, that's an interesting idea, all right, yeah, let me,
something to think about. Like I said, I have no idea what that event would be, and maybe Amy would have an idea
yeah,
Yeah.
of some kind of an event that they would
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Um,
Little discouraged about the homebound delivery, because Alana is definitely interested in doing something. And we didn't want to step on toes over there, and I did reach out to Amy to say, here's what we're interested in doing. We'd like to talk to you about it. And I have nothing. And so,
Might be, I mean, the long-term outreach coordinator is just retiring, so there might be, and they also might be experiencing summer. So,
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say, I would say reach out again,
Yeah.
because I think
Yeah.
they are experiencing summer, because I see
Yeah.
Amy on a regular basis,
it might
and I can try to
it might be
mention it
nice
as
to-
well.
Yeah, it might be nice for just stop over
and
there.
I don't know, right, if this was something that Janet was helping to coordinate, just so that outreach coordinator, I don't know, but I do know that Janet is retiring, that was recently announced, so like, I just,
All right.
so like, anyhow, yeah, so I think, yeah, trying again
Keep-
is
okay.
worthwhile.
Yeah,
Summer.
so.
Yeah,
And I would be game like for the school side, especially since the middle school just got a new principal.
Hmm.
We kind of re-energize it and maybe go over and kind of sit down and just have a chat with the principal and vice principal and be like, here's the goal, here's where we want to get to, yeah, we know we're approved to do this,
Right.
but how can we work together to find that solution?
Yeah.
And from all the communication I've seen from the incoming principal, it's been very open,
Good.
wants to really flourish. So
Okay.
I think
Which principals?
at the middle school.
Okay, the new.
Yep.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
we did briefly, and she was actually there for the parents' night for fifth graders coming in. Really awesome. She was coming out of Douglas and been over there for a long time. Very experienced. So it seems like cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
But it gives us a great opportunity to go sit down again and say, hey, this is something that was out there.
Mhm.
We never really got it where we thought it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, how do we do that?
Okay.
Around campus.
Thanks. Yeah, I haven't not heard yet, but I think you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, excellent. Another of the things that was on there, I mentioned the homebound issue, the sign out front. Are we looking to do a digital? You're just,
I said that
ago,
before,
we were like, we need that.
When you were talking about and having to change it, I'm like,
yeah,
because I drive by the schools,
I know.
but like the schools have one that.
you just got one.
is that something that could be considered capital expense, or is that, because you're on the
Oh, sure. I mean, I would absolutely bring it up because,
Okay.
so.
I don't know if, you know, how they send out the spreadsheet.
Yes,
I do not remember if I put it on there.
there's no reason not to put it on there. So to back up a little bit, Mendon's Capital Planning Committee is now an official committee. We've had one meeting, our second one's actually coming up next week. And one of the big discussions during the first meeting was we've been working off of kind of a dollar cap, like what's capital planning, you know, looking at projects versus not, should be within a budget.
Right.
And we recognize that sometimes when you're talking about the larger planning, you have to be dollars agnostic. So know what the money is and understand maybe there's a bigger picture out there. So if you're asking for a lighting sign and someone else is and whatnot, if we can connect all those buttons and be like, this is a simple one contract, we can get 5 done and maybe it's half the cost. That's kind of a no-brainer.
Sure.
So there's a lot of growth over the next couple of years to mature that. So that's gonna take time.
Seniors might want one, and they have the same issue we have.
There's no reason not to include it. So if it's not on that list, I would go back and put it on.
I mean, it's interesting, having looked down the list just briefly, I think 2 of the things, well, I know one of them is completed because the parking lot.
Yep.
is all set, so that was nice to see them completed. But there were still 3, you know, I don't know, 4 or 5 things on there, including the roof issues that we've had and so on. So, I'll double check.
Cool.
And add it in.
It couldn't hurt either to give Karen a call over at
Yeah.
Times Plus and just be like, hey, how much is it? Are we able to convert our existing sign and just kind of take out the center and put in an electronic? Obviously, there's electrical that has to go on with it,
Right, right.
but like, you know, and keep the basic structure of our sign without doing that?
Yeah.
Or is it something we have to replace the entire thing? She'll know that in a,
I've got to head over there to get the 2 leaves to
Yeah.
pick up, so, I'll
Just ask.
Ask her.
you know, maybe she can give you ballparks just so we know where we're at and.
I mean, we always agree, like, the signs and swapping it out all the time. is touchy.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a ballpark on getting electrical out there?
At one
We were
point,
looking
yeah.
at putting lights out there.
Yeah.
So we had a ballpark, but I know a guy who just dug up my front yard to put a new electrical in, so. It's minimum number 2. And his price was
Pretty good.
pretty reasonable,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I think that was about it under strategic plan goals. We kind of talked about staffing and the fact that, you know, the next step is a bigger step.
Right.
And we need to talk through the money piece of it and sort of. From there. Anyway, so that was what I had for strategic plan goals, is talking about this time. This meeting.
So I still have cardboard boat race on here, but I don't know, we need to recap it, or we think we've kind of already done that?
We've kind of already done that for the most part, but
I'm sorry, I thought it was on there for next year. Like this was. I thought this was big on. Okay, so 2026.
So
James, you're up.
Yeah.
the free press, I did send photos that Ashley had and they put them in the paper this week. But it was too short a notice to get an article on the boat race in. I think there's a lot of volunteers over there and there's not a lot of people who are actually writing articles. So I told her, look, I will have a write-up for them for the September. So it will include the boat race and then they can use more photos. That was sent from Ashley, and then the results of things like the worm race and the Oreo stacking.
Yeah.
So that is.
Yeah, like a summer reading recap, yeah. So I know I'm a little bit biased because I know Ashley, but that reel she did
It was
was
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah. She did a great job, and the photos are awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of photos and, to be honest, like, the fact that we didn't have cable 8 there, okay, that's fine. They actually still, I think, are using some of the reels.
Yeah, I think people, yeah,
So that's a good thing.
yeah,
Yeah. She's talked about, photographing and videoing other things here. I would be interested if the price is right. Cause I thought it was good. I thought that what she put together was really nice.
It might be nice on our new website to have a page of like past events, to kind of highlight and put pictures on
Right.
there of these kinds of things.
Yeah.
To celebrate and highlight all of those great things that we do.
yeah.
I think that that's one of those things that we haven't been great about doing.
Yes,
Like, we'll do the event, people love it, enjoy it, and yet there's no sort of crowing about it, but we probably should. Like it should show up on the site. Not everybody's gonna go to Facebook, right, to our page
right.
on Facebook, so I agree.
But maybe our website has like a blog page. And that becomes like a highlighting of, hey, we had 440 attendees at our cardboard boat race. Here's some highlight pictures. Put the results on there. And it just becomes like a log, so that the next event we put another.
That's actually a great idea.
And it's really easy to do because I'm gonna be doing it for the paper anyway.
Yes, on our Facebook page and our Twitter page and our
Yes.
Snapchat or whatever, any of those social media things that we're doing, they all link to that page, so you write it once, and it goes out to everybody all
And
in.
actually, we've had our write-ups on the site, but it's not necessarily like.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so this was expected.
Hey, it's
And
right.
then, and a lot of times, the other,
Okay.
the other thing to look at is, a lot of times, the websites, you can set them up to
Yeah.
automatically post to the social media for you.
That'd be great.
So you do it once, and you hit a button, and it does it for you.
Yeah.
And, because I used to do it for my own website.
Yeah.
Right. That was actually one of the requirements we had requested when we went down the new webpage discussion. So if you want to go back to that, to Jeremy, when they
Yep.
talked about current webpage format.
Yep.
That was something we asked.
Website to be social media.
So we had one spot it goes and then it sends out to every all links.
Cool, all right.
But I do
Yeah.
think, like, having that, like a
Yeah.
reel or a blog, not, blog's not the right word, but like,
Yeah, I know you mean.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things with the old site is, it was fine to get information up there, but it's not really inviting, like, I mean, it's like. Yeah, it's one of the, it is a good. It would be nice if it was something that was really sort of pulls you.
Yeah.
Well, the new one should be,
Yeah.
and it looks like it will be.
Yeah.
Based
Already
on
have
what
it.
I've seen. Yeah,
So, yeah, I think that would be great, and like I said, things are, might as well highlight it. More so than just in the paper.
well, then it's there as a record too, so they can go back and see, oh, look at all these great events.
Yeah.
And, and then it's all in one spot, and
Yeah, you got links for each blog post.
And it's also good if you ever do like for grants and just to have that documentation. It's like I know, like, yeah, for like the congressional, call it earmarks, I guess congressionally directed spending, like when you put together like kind of like a portfolio,
Okay.
like all of these things feed into that. And so it's good that it might help.
No, they have it all visually there, you can actually just pull from it and use it again. Sounds great. Okay.
I was being sarcastic, just again. All I know is that every person that we talked to that had there had like, okay, next year discussions already.
Yeah,
And I do truly believe that we stick with, if we can, doing some type of introduction to cardboard boat races.
I think so, yeah.
One of those classes
Yeah.
drew different folks in that wouldn't come.
Yes,
And having 2 or 3 of them hit different time blocks and remind you. So, those little changes, I think, made a huge difference.
and my question, I guess, would be, did you or Tara sabotage me?
No, no, no.
you were trying to take me down with your paddle, mister. Oh my God, should I bring up? I think it was.
Hers,
Oh my
I
God.
saw like another boat
yeah,
fall on it, and I was so relieved that it wasn't a child's boat that was like.
there were so many that like made it out and back.
Yeah,
It's astounding.
A lot better than last year.
Yeah,
Holy crow.
some very, very successful.
I have to say a big shout out to Patrick Scott for bringing me home.
That was good. Oh,
all right, so the rectory subcommittee update.
So we have chosen not to meet this month. We're taking the summer. So we met last month. we reviewed the revised schematics. They made all the recommendations that we asked for. The only thing that surprised us a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, we realized kind of had to happen. We had said they wanted to do the lift. We had said it was very important that the lift goes all the way to the top floor. Like if there's, so there's the basement, the main level, and then the top level. We said because even if it's, whether it's staff or we have something up there that patrons would use, needs to be handicap accessible. So they determined by reviewing that a lift wasn't capable to go that whole thing, that it needed to be a Luna.
Yeah.
I think, I want to say it's
Next
called a
step
Luna,
up.
it's like the next step up from a lift. It's basically so that it's not, still not an elevator per se, but it is able to go up all 3 levels. Which would require a little bit of an addition to the back to kind of house that unit. Not an elevator shaft, but an addition. So at first we were all like, oh, what are they talking about? We weren't talking about additions, but then we're like, you know what? It's a feasibility study. It's not the be all end all. So anyway, so we discussed that. We were gonna go back to them. We were in the middle of summer, so we didn't respond. They wrote back to us a couple weeks ago and said, you know, how were things? What were your thoughts? Blah, blah, blah. By the way, here's a couple of renditions of what the back of the building would look like. And it was just basically this entire building is one building, showing that a little addition, and it was just all green. But you look, this line,
It's the exterior, basically.
it's the exterior of what the back looked like.
Yeah.
And we were all like, a lot of green, but when you look at this building, it's green.
But
Like,
I can't stand the fact that it's two different colors right now.
I know.
I really want to get my paintbrush and fix that.
Yeah.
Rectory building. Badly.
Had we wanted to go back and ask about the front of?
So we had talked about it, we didn't, we probably should get a schematic of the front, they didn't show us what the front would look like. But ideally, we had asked to, in the beginning, we mentioned that we wanted to keep the facade, so there should be a schematic showing. Let me reply to her email, I promise, I will really reply to her email. Cause she did say that she was there working on the.
It's documented.
Yeah, they're working on the final report to give us, so I'll just respond to the email she responded to.
That's fine, yeah.
And just say, is it possible to get a schematic of the front view of the building?
Right.
Just to get a rough idea.
Because if they're talking preservation, do they have, how much of the look has to be preserved? Like,
Just the front facade, if we're going off what the fire station did, or the police station did.
Right,
yeah,
So,
just the
that's
facade.
interesting. Okay,
and if,
yeah, it would be nice to see that.
if I may add, on the bump outs that they projected or put as an idea, one of the cool parts is it also takes the ladder, the stairs,
Oh,
and
yes,
puts it next to the lift section. So now the center of the building won't lose space for either the lift or stairs.
which is what we were gonna have to do
Yeah.
before.
We actually gain an extra study room upstairs on the second floor. We gain more space for the community use area on both the basement and on that first floor.
And if friends have anything, we were talking about, well, it's not gonna be like a walkout like this, but honestly, it kind of is, because there is a pathway to the elevator in that you,
It'll still be a walkout, it's just from the side, as opposed, the side of that
the arrangements.
piece as opposed to the back of the building,
Right.
but it's still a walkout, yeah.
So,
So it's moving, we're gonna meet next month, we picked a day, but we have a feeling it's gonna be different than,
We picked the day, we said we were taking 6 o'clock, so this meeting had to do something. I think we did, sorry. We can
No, but
check,
I
don't
think-
worry.
you actually, I have a book club at 7.
Oh.
so that's what happened, so the book club is on the 11th.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
so
at 7.
we assumed the trustee meeting would be on the 11th. So,
That was-
Andrew had the book club, so we moved our meeting to the 4th at 6, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So the trustee meeting can still be the 11th.
Sure.
It's just.
If
they have
that's
the book club
what everybody
follows
wants to
suit
do.
after, as long as everybody's okay with that.
So other than that,
Is
it's,
that gonna be an issue with the book club at 7? No, just, Okay. Cool.
All right, so we're going with September 11th at 6 for our next meeting.
For the next trustee meeting. The rectory meeting will be the 4th at 6. And Dylan emailed me, she apologized, something came up at the last minute, she tried to email us, or she was in the process of emailing me to say, I'm so sorry that I'm not gonna be able to make the meeting,
Oh.
and she never hit send. And she's like, I just realized that it was still in my drafts, and I am so sorry, I never, and I was like, don't worry about it, I told her what we discussed, I told her I brought up, so, yeah. So Dylan also mentioned, that she is on, I'm gonna get the terminology wrong, but she is on a task force about water
Yes.
and making sure buildings are properly pitched or whatever you want, I don't know what the terminology is. So she wanted to make sure that in this project, that we make sure that we take into all that, and I said, absolutely, we, you know, that is without question, we would make sure that, so, I told her that I did mention it to the group, that she had, you know, and that I read the email that she had originally sent me, so she appreciated that, and I told her we'd just discuss it more at the next meeting. That's that.
Anybody have any other topics that weren't anticipated for the original agenda?
It's just that, yeah, that Jeremy.
So it
Yes.
sounds like we're coming to the
He's gonna-
September meeting.
Yeah, I'm gonna add him, I'll add him as the first item after we call the order or after we approve minutes, for next meeting.
Okay,
I don't know that we voted to approve minutes, but it's fine.
We do.
no, so
because we don't
Allison
have
sent
it.
out an email that
I
she
understand.
didn't have her thing with her.
Sorry.
Don't
Good.
worry.
It's all good.
I had a hiccup summer.
Yeah,
You got nothing to apologize for.
so next time around, we'll approve April and,
June and August.
I mean, June and
Yeah, I
August.
didn't even update it on
Like
the agenda.
April.
I thought about it afterwards. It was this afternoon. When I got your email saying you weren't gonna write to me, I was like, I didn't put it on the agenda right anyway,
So
so.
it's June and August, not April.
No,
It's June.
it'll be June and August.
I thought I had posted April.
You did.
You do.
You did.
Cool.
All right,
Great.
motion to adjourn?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
We have to do a roll call because we have.
Oh, yes,
Nice job.
So,
good job.
all right. Lisa, I.
Gabrielle, aye.
James, I.
Howie, aye.
Allison, I.
Okay, meeting adjourned. I am gonna turn off the recording.
Bye, everyone. See you in
All right, bye, Allison, thank you.
Bye.